In the days before the RMS Titanic left port, a series of important events quietly unfolded that would shape the beginning of one of the most famous voyages in history. Please subscribe. While much attention is often given to what happened during and after the journey, the final days before departure were filled with activity, decisions, and preparations that played a crucial role in setting the stage for everything that followed. The Titanic was stationed at Southampton, where it stood as a massive and impressive presence in the harbor. People from all around gathered to see the ship, which had already gained a reputation as one of the most advanced and luxurious vessels ever built. The port became a center of excitement, with workers, crew members, and passengers all contributing to the busy atmosphere. One of the most significant tasks during these days was the loading of supplies. The Titanic needed to be fully prepared for its journey across the Atlantic Ocean, which meant carrying a wide range of items. Food, water, fuel, and equipment were carefully brought on board, ensuring that both passengers and crew would have everything they needed. This process required careful planning and coordination, as even a small mistake could lead to problems during the voyage. At the same time, the crew was actively preparing for their roles. Each member had specific responsibilities, and these final days were used to review procedures and ensure that everyone understood their duties. From engineers working in the engine rooms to stewards assisting passengers, every role was essential in making the journey successful. Passengers also began arriving at the port during this period. They came with luggage, expectations, and a sense of excitement about the journey ahead. For many, this was not just a trip, but an important moment in their lives. Some were traveling for leisure, while others were seeking new opportunities in a different country. The diversities of passengers added to the unique atmosphere of the port. Another important aspect of these final days was the series of inspections carried out on the ship. Engineers and officials carefully checked the Titanic's systems, including its engines, navigation equipment, and safety features. These inspections were meant to ensure that the ship was ready for the journey and that all systems were functioning properly. Despite the thorough preparation, there were also last-minute decisions that had to be made. Changes in passenger lists, adjustments to crew assignments, and other small but important details were handled during this time. These decisions were part of the normal process of preparing such a large and complex vessel for departure. The port itself was a scene of constant movement and activity. Workers moved quickly to complete their tasks, while passengers and visitors observed the ship. The sound of machinery, the movement of cargo, and the conversations of people created an environment that reflected the importance of the moment. As the departure date approached, the anticipation continued to grow. The Titanic had already captured the attention of the public, and many people were eager to see it begin its journey. The combination of its size, design, and reputation made it a symbol of progress and innovation. The final checks before departure were critical. Engineers ensured that the engines were operating correctly, while crew members confirmed that all necessary preparations had been completed. These steps were essential in ensuring that the ship would be able to begin its journey without issues. During these days, there was also a sense of confidence surrounding the Titanic. Many people believed that it represented the peak of modern engineering and design. This confidence was reflected in the way the ship was prepared and the expectations of those involved. However, looking back, these final days also highlight the complexity of managing such a large operation. Coordinating thousands of workers, handling large amounts of cargo, and preparing for a long journey required careful planning and attention to detail. It was a process that involved many different elements working together. The days before the Titanic left port can be seen as a period of transition, moving from construction and preparation to the beginning of its journey. It was a time when everything came together, and the ship was finally ready to fulfill its purpose. More than a century later, these moments continue to be an important part of the Titanic's story. They provide insight into how the journey began, and the efforts that were made to ensure its success. While the events that followed would become the focus of history, the days before departure remain a key part of understanding the full story. In the end, what happened in the days before the Titanic left port was a combination of preparation, organization, and anticipation. It was a time when the ship, the crew, and the passengers were all coming together for a journey that would soon become one of the most well-known events in history. The Titanic's departure marked the beginning of a voyage filled with hope and expectation. Yet, those final days before it left port remind us that every great journey begins with careful preparation and the efforts of many people working together toward a common goal.